In a big change, Senegal's new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has promised to free his country from the control of Western countries like France, which used to rule Senegal. France trying to convince him to keep working together, but Faye said no. He wants to stop the influence of Western countries on Senegal. Before we dive into today's video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our updates. Now, let's get started. This is part of a larger movement across Africa. Faye, who is 44 years old, brings hope for a better future. He won the election by a lot, showing that the people of Senegal want change. They don't want leaders who listen to Western countries, but leaders who look after their own people first. France, which had a lot of control in Senegal for many years, is now worried because Faye does not want to keep things the same. He wants Senegal to be independent, free from the control of countries like France that once ruled it. This is a big change in how Senegal and Western countries, especially France, relate to each other. President Macron of France quickly called Faye, trying to convince him to keep working closely with France and allow French companies to keep benefiting from Senegal's resources. Faye, however, refused. He was determined to make Senegal truly independent, free from the influence of its former colonial ruler. Faye planned to re-examine all mining contracts with French companies, aiming to find new international partners and support local businesses. This move challenged the long-standing control France had over parts of Africa. Faye's election showed that Africans no longer wanted leaders who followed Western countries' wishes. He aimed to increase cooperation among African nations and ensure Senegal's freedom and independence from past colonial powers like France. Rattled by this turn of events, the French establishment began frantically trying to find ways to undermine Faye's incoming government. But their desperate efforts seemed futile in the face of this unstoppable wave of African self-determination. And on March 28th, Faye paid a visit to his predecessor, Macky Sall, at the presidential palace in Dakar. The meeting marked a powerful symbolic transition between the old era of servitude to the West and the new era of African self-determination. As they cordially bid farewell, it was clear a seismic shift was underway in Senegal. France is scrambling to retain its waning influence in West Africa. From Burkina Faso to Mali, we are witnessing the inevitable decline of French neo-colonialism across the region, and Senegal is leading the way. The transition of power in Dakar sounds the death knell for France's grip. As France's grip loosens, President-elect Faye is already bringing in a new era focused on benefiting the Senegalese people. Faye is committed to making sure the wealth from Senegal's natural resources benefits its own people, not foreign companies. He plans to renegotiate oil and gas contracts with big firms like BP, Cosmos Energy, and Woodside Energy, aiming to correct deals that have favored these companies too much. He has put together a team of experts to review past contracts and find out how they shortchanged Senegal. The goal is to get a better deal for Senegal, ensuring more profits stay in the country. Faye wants these talks to be fair and by the book, aiming for agreements that are good for both sides. They're starting to talk about changing some parts of the contracts. This careful and open way of negotiating is expected to lead to fairer deals. Projects like the Grand Tortue Amayim LNG facility and the Sangoma oil field, which cost $4.8 billion and faced delays, are now ready to start. These projects could really boost Senegal's economy. However, past leaders made deals that mostly benefited foreign companies. For instance, in 2012, President Abdoulaye Wade gave gas block rights to businessman Frank Timis, who lacked experience in the industry. After questionable payments were made to Wade's brother, these rights were sold to BP for $10 billion, a move that didn't favor Senegal. Faye's team is paying close attention to such deals, especially the BP deal, highlighting the need for transparency and fairness that was previously missing. In the heart of Africa, a new chapter begins for Senegal under the leadership of President-elect Faye. The big companies, BP and Cosmos, have expressed their wish to keep a friendly relationship with Senegal. However, President Faye has made it clear the time of unfair deals is over. He's set on ensuring that the riches beneath Senegal's soil and waters benefit its people, not just fill the pockets of distant shareholders. Faye is not just looking at immediate changes. He's envisioning a future where African nations work hand in hand. As soon as Faye's victory was announced, congratulations poured in from across the continent. Leaders from every corner of Africa reached out, eager to collaborate and strengthen ties. The African Union's head, Musa Faki Mohammed, and NIDA's Brigadier General Abdourahmane Tiani were among the first to voice their support. They praised Faye's forward-thinking approach and his commitment to unity and self-reliance within Africa. Their messages were not just formalities, but a sign of a shared dream for a continent working together for the prosperity and independence of its nations. Meanwhile, France, once a dominant force in Senegal and other African countries, finds its influence waning. Under Faye's determined leadership, Senegal is breaking free from the remnants of colonial exploitation. Faye is turning towards the global south, seeking partnerships that promise mutual respect and benefit. He looks towards the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as models for cooperation and development. These countries represent a new direction for Senegal, one that prioritizes collaboration with emerging economies over reliance on former colonial powers. Faye's vision is bold and clear. He sees a future where Senegal, and indeed all of Africa, stands strong, united, and prosperous. His plans for renegotiating contracts and fostering Pan-African cooperation are steps towards this future. This is a pivotal moment for Senegal, marking its move towards true independence and a leadership role in shaping a new African narrative. As we watch these developments unfold, one can't help but wonder about the impact of Faye's policies on the future of Senegal and the wider African continent. His leadership could indeed be the dawn of a new era of self-determination and prosperity for Africa. What are your thoughts on Senegal's direction under President Faye? Do you believe in the potential for a united and self-reliant Africa? Share your views in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video to support our channel. And I look forward to see you in the next video.